Welcome back to Chasing the Target. Day 5, day 4 था, day 5 था याद नहीं आ रहा, but न्यूजीलैंड जल्दी जल्दी बिखर गए. I think 5-6 ओवर में हो गया था उनका काम. And yeah, end of the test match for them. Sri Lanka looking better and better in this test format. England के victory के बाद से they've got a lot of positivity in that dressing room, and yes, these kind of situations, like these kind of conditions, rather, they do help Sri Lanka. Subcontinent countries usually spinners ले लेके आते हैं. Prop Surya, arrow fiver again. This guy is incredible. ऐसा आप earlier भी mention करे थे साहब भाई के Prop Surya आपको आप काफी टाइम से देख रहे हैं, and he's one to watch out for. Mendes as well. So it looks like Sri Lanka right now moved up to third spot, man, in the WTC rankings. If they got one also against India, they would have probably been like more competing for that final.
Yeah, I mean they're in the third spot, but I think it makes it easier for India and Australia now to qualify because if you're taking points of New Zealand, taking points of England that Sri Lanka have done, it does take. Now if New Zealand win the next Test match, it actually makes it easier for India and Australia to qualify because agar India jeet ke, I think the next, if they win all their games, then they just need one draw, I think, in Australia, and they will qualify. So it makes India's chances even better, the fact that Sri Lanka are getting points off these teams. And Sri Lanka themselves could have qualified, but it's always going to be tough when you lose a series in England. When you lose series overall, tough to रहेगा. But what they're doing is they're making it easier for India and Australia to qualify.
Yeah, I mean that's good news for Indian fans, but yeah, I mean I don't know system work कैसा करता हो. Obviously, like even number of tests तो नहीं खेलते हैं. Like look at England, man, they play the most test cricket out of everyone. So I don't know exactly how it's calculated, but yeah, right now just आप बोले कि India and Australia likely, and that I mean I don't know how much it's going to make a difference अगर they lose to Bangladesh, New Zealand and stuff from here. Now if India lose in like couple of games, then देखना पड़ेगा impact कितना होता per test. But yeah, I mean Sri Lanka, with whatever they're going through now in this transition, they look much better. They look much more relaxed, and they look like they sorted out their responsibilities to each individual player. If you look at it.
Yeah, and Sanjay Ashura has done a fabulous job. Agar if you've seen overall, like beating India, 3-0, then winning one Test match in England, and now beating New Zealand, they've done a fabulous job. They're looking a bit stronger now, balanced, and I think in Sri Lanka we've seen them win matches. Like in the fact that they won in England, that gave them a lot of confidence, and then of course the way they played over here was outstanding as well. Their batting is coming into full flow, bowling bhi acha kar rahe. So yeah, I think they have improved a lot. Now it's just about being consistent. It's going to be difficult, but at least ye jo unka phase hai with Jai Surya, they've done a very very good job, I feel.
Yeah, for New Zealand.
Points ka, it's like it is complicated. They changed it. Before it was like per match, per series, but now there's a percentage point system. So it's not just winning it's not just the games that you win. It's like it's a percentage of the series, and I think 2-match series there is more points or less points, and then if it's a 5-match series there is less points on offer per match. I'm saying the weightage per match is a bit so it depends on the length of the series that you play. So it's a bit complicated, and it suits more the big three: India, England, Australia, who play test matches, because end of the day they have more chances to win.
And also crowd pullers, right? I think वो भी थोड़ा है कि but yeah, I mean वही है कि इंग्लैंड तो बहुत ज्यादा टेस्ट खेलती है. उनका तो शोर शॉट गारंटी होता भी नहीं कि क्वालिफाई, एंड राइट नाउ इन लाइक probably the last two on the table अगर आप देखो. एंड अब देखना न्यूजीलैंड का क्या बोलते हैं. लाइक आई मीन वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड दिस quite number of times, but yeah, they just really need to find players that take up responsibility. I think Williamson is there for now, but you haven't seen still look at players that give you that belief कि हाँ भैया they're good start, like Rachin Ravindra is one of them and Latham, but consistency in those figures ahead इतना नहीं दिख के आ रहा. जैसा विलियमसन को आपको हाँ संभाल लेता था एक टाइम पे, but उसका एंड आ रहा. Like now who's like the next New Zealand guy to take them ahead? Like Devon Conway and these guys, what do you think it is? Yeah.
But if you see, even New Zealand, they always do struggle in these kind of conditions. It's not easy for them. Subcontinent mein jab un log khelte, they do struggle against spin, like traditionally and everything. I think Wayne Williamson, you need him to score a bit more runs in these conditions. You need the likes of Tom Latham, who's a good player of spin, to score more runs. But overall, I think it's not too much to worry about. मेरे हिसाब से New Zealand are just getting into the groove. थोड़ा time लग रहा. I think they will probably lose the India series as well. But by the time we get to the winter, they will pick up, I think, and then the Champions Trophy, I think they will be sorted, because I'm seeing some talent coming in. You have that fast bowler over there, Rachin Ravindra. The way he's batting is outstanding. They need the likes of Mitchell, Williamson, Brandon. Jo middle order, they need them to start clicking. Once they start clicking, I think come into play. Again, देखो यहाँ पे आप chase कर रहे थे, they're always going to be behind the 8 ball. Ideally, when they were 250 for 4, they should have extended that lead on Sri Lanka, got maybe 150 run lead, but it is tough conditions, it is turning, and that second innings, I don't know what much they could have done. Apart from what Rachendra Vidya did was out of this world, but if you saw the game, the ball was turning so
Turning
much.
so much. Yeah. Day four, after the rest day particularly. Yeah.
आई थिंक फर्स्ट इनिंग्स जब उन लोग बैटिंग कर रहे थे, उनकी जो मैच का सेकंड इनिंग्स था, वहां पे दे शुड व्हेन दे 250 for 4, I think they should have got a bigger lead. That's where they could have won the game. But overall, I don't know why I feel a bit more comfortable about New Zealand compared to other teams, because look, in subcontinent, it's always going to be difficult for Sena countries with the spin and everything. That's not to say that they shouldn't win the series. They should. Like, it's not like they should, like, Sri Lanka are favorites. I think New Zealand are favorites. Like, the last few months, they haven't played much cricket, and like they're going through a transition phase. Trent Bolt, they have this T20 thing, like a lot of the players going to T20 and all that. So I think it's taking a bit of time. But that middle order starts clicking. Glenn Phillips, aapke Daryl Mitchell, these guys, they start getting runs. Then I think it'll take some pressure off the top order, and Williamson also will be key because unhe aapka experienced player hai. But I see talent there. If you ask me, like, Rachin Ravindra is going to be a generational talent. Like, so I think life after Williamson is still bright. Maybe not as bright, but it's still there. There is a thing, like, with the faster bowlers, they still have bowlers coming in. You have Ajaz Patel with the ball. So there is talent there. Like you said, they just need to get that rhythm going and get that consistency. I think they should be okay.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. You do see like you said, future is bright and stuff. But why, like passing on the thing, you already, like, when Williamson was coming, and you had like McCullum and these guys, and then they passed it on to Williamson, and Williamson took it. So, like, right now, in terms of just consistency of performance is what's a little bit, because you have, yes, beautiful play like Devon Conway. Phil Allen, T20 mein zyada, he's not shining, though he has the talent and stuff. So it's just that consistency factor for me in New Zealand. But like you said, like, obviously when it comes to tournaments and when it comes to things, they're more like a unit, right? Like, they're not a
that
one
is the
man
thing.
army.
Agar ab New Zealand ko dekho, like, even when it comes to Test cricket, also aage jaake you will see this. But in one day T20s, they field really well. They understand each other well, and सबके roles अलग अलग है. There's not one guy who has the pressure. तो उस हिसाब से when they go into big games, they feel less pressure. Whereas, when India is playing Virat Kohli, Pakistan, Babar Azam, they don't. Bolte Williamson, but he doesn't, like, if he doesn't perform, Rachin Ravindra is there. Conway's not got runs. I think someone like him, if he starts getting runs, he hasn't got runs. World Cup, I think. So,
2
like,
years, yeah.
आप जो बैट एंड बोल रहे, like, I still think it's actually good. Like, वो time पे भी it took time. McCullum was a huge figure that they lost, and it took time for Williamson to gather the players. They lost McCullum, and they lost Ross Taylor as well.
Ross Taylor, yeah.
For them, like, both underrated, probably one of the best number 4 batters New Zealand has ever had.
Yeah, Ross Taylor था, उनके बाद Jacob Oram था, एक all-rounder था, बहुत ज़्यादा players एकदम से निकल
गए. They left, and it took some time, but the thing, like you mentioned very rightly so, कि उन लोग as a unit खेलते हैं, and their fielding is really good, and that keeps them in tournaments. You know how important that is. It just gives the boost the bowlers, it boosts the batsmen as well, and I think they don't rely on one player, which is very good. आके कोई ना कोई मार देता है. Like, you've seen, now you tell me 2019, 2021, when India faced them, 1 in 50 over 1 T20,
lost,
India favorites, outright favorites. Up to, like, we were celebrating in 2019. I remember Australia were on top the whole time, and then they lost to South Africa, if you remember. That game was at Old Trafford, and India won their last game, and suddenly the table shifted. It was going to be India-England semi-final. Last minute, because South Africa won, it became India-New Zealand, and we were all celebrating कि भाई New Zealand मिल गई. We don't have to play England, we don't have to play Australia. We're going to play New Zealand in the semi-final. And if you look at that team, still on paper, अभी in hindsight अब क्या जबरदस्त team थी, they should have won the final, but at that time no one gave them a chance. So, and that is the beauty of them. They go under the radar, not much pressure. Like today, if you ask me about this test match, what is the criticism? I think the first innings
बैटिंग एक्सटेंडिंग द लीड नहीं करे कोई वहां पे.
उन लोग सेट हो गए थे, मिडिल ऑर्डर को स्टेप अप करना था. देखो, उससे भी रन नहीं आ रहे, फिलिप्स से, कॉनवे से रन नहीं आ रहे, लेथम से. ये रन्स अगर आना शुरू करे, देन आई थिंक दे विल डू बेटर.
अब अपन इतने स्पिनर्स को देख लिए इन द लास्ट वीक. इफ यू हैड टू पिक top 3 of your best all-time spinner, like from Shane Warne to everyone, like Murli, anyone, what would your best trio of spin be?
For Test cricket?
For Test cricket.
It's a tough one, man.
So I'll give you options. You got Murli, you got Shane, you've got Ashwin, you've got Rangana Herath also. I'm going to throw him because he was an all-time great for Sri Lanka. you've got Anil Kumble, who's also one of the greats. And which other England? You can probably take कौन है अपना England का short-lived career, not that extent, but Graham Swan was not bad as well.
Oh,
Uh,
outstanding.
Daniel
Truly
Vittori,
outstanding.
Daniel Vittori hai. So yeah, any three that you would pick, given Ashwin Jadeja as well in this time, like who would your trio be if you would like all time? I know it's a hard question, but like just
Shane Warne
because we're
number
on
one.
it again. Yeah,
Shane
उसको
Warne
तो
number
लिए
one.
बगैर ले नहीं सकते.
Yeah, Shane Warne number one. Then I'll probably go Nathan Lyon, um,
Nathan Lyon.
Graham Swan, and then Anil Kumble four. I think Anil Kumble will probably be above Ashwin, but like Ashwin is right up there. Him, Harbhajan, they're really good. But Anil Kumble, he could bowl like a fast bowler too, right? Like
Yeah.
he was like stump to stump, stump to stump, and he was good overseas. Like I remember the Australia series, we got robbed in that series 2008. One play, Steve Buckner had the worst series ever. Like I was so pissed at the umpire. One pe Kash DRS tha, India would have won that test match. That series also they would have won. He was captain that time as well, and yeah, Anil Kumble stump to stump, relentless. He's won a series in Pakistan as well. Yeah, I think Anil Kumble. But Ashwin is also over there. I think this agar if Ashwin wins a series in Australia and England and he contributes and the WTC final, I'll change that order. But right now, yeah, because Nathan Lyon, mera ye hai ki bhai, and Shane Warne, they've done it everywhere, man. Where have they not like spun the
शेन
ball?
वॉर्न तो ऐसे ऐसे जगहों पे स्पिन कराया जहाँ पे स्पिन पॉसिबल भी नहीं है. लाइक उन्हें तो अलग लेवल था. लाइक ही वाज उन्हें जिद्दी भी था उन्हें. लाइक अ लॉट ऑफ
The
पीपल
only place he struggled, the only place he struggled was India,
इंडिया.
which Nathan Lyon has not actually. He's done well in India. So Shane Warne has struggled in India actually, whereas Ashwin has done good. Like all these guys, even Nathan Lyon's done well in India. But at the same time, it wasn't like अभी के जो pitches है, अगर उसको अभी के pitches दिए तो उन्हें शायद और wickets ले लेता.
और
But still,
बेहतरीन है.
against India, he struggled.
Against like England, though he was next level, man.
Yeah,
Like,
and
as
yeah, like you can turn it on a glass. That's the thing. With Nathan Lyon, I've been reading an article. Matlab last 2-3 years, say similar articles come up with like more analysis and everything. I think this is the recent one also on Cricinfo. Basically, Ashwin Jadeja, what they do is look side spin ka rehta, so they need a bit more turn and like they need some help with the pitch. Whereas in look ka overspin hota. Nathan Lyon has an overspin, so he can extract turn even on a flatter surface. So and then in Australia he gets that extra bounce, that extra turn because of his overspin. So that's I think the release of the ball, the grip, like side spin, thoda side se aata, overspin aisa like top se aata. Like it's a very good article. I mean, there's been a lot of articles on it. It's not just the जब भी इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया का सीरीज जैसा आप बोले हम इंशाल्लाह एंड ऑफ अक्टूबर नवंबर में करेंगे एक एनालिसिस.
वो तो बिल्कुल करना है. उसका है फिर कोहली और स्मिथ का आ जाता.
Yeah, because even my dad actually told me that's why I also mentioned it. He really wanted to know like who I think is better between the two. But I think वही है कि in different conditions, what kind of action, what kind of release of the ball helps. And right now, Nathan Lyon ka jo hai, his thing allows him to do better in other conditions because of that overspin that he gets on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it is. Like when we come to the big series after all, and again, this series is not going to be. The best thing about this series is not going to be like people won't take it light because of the table and stuff. Qualify हो जाएंगे most probably by this point. India तो हो ही जाएगी WTC final के लिए अगर न्यूजीलैंड को भी हरा दिया. And then Australia as well. Like I think Australia also in a very comfortable seat. So like, but the thing is that the series is so prestigious that no one going to take it lightly, and that's what we want to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be huge, man. अभी तो already predictions
That's why
5-0.
5-0. वो तो हमेशा कह रहे थे like every Australian is going to say 5-0 like what you usually
in
see.
general, people might be waiting for Champions Trophy and everything. A lot of people will, especially Indian fans, I think. But Australia is just waiting for this
tournament. And then resting. Workload करते रहे.
And I am WTC. आप कितने बार देख रहे? This is what we need for the final. Me, you, any Indian content creator. Like I don't want to generalize, but a lot of us are just looking at how do we make it to the final. They're not looking at final. They're not looking at Champions Trophy. उन लोगों को India को हराना है ये series में. So that's what they're looking at. One more justification I just want to give for Graham Swan because a lot of people everyone says I have an English bias. Reasoning behind it is 3 reasons. One is like in England he was outstanding. He won a series in India. Against Sachin Tendulkar, Lakshman, Dravid, all these guys. And then he won a series in Australia, which is like English players. I've never seen an English players. That was the only time in my generation or in my lifetime that England's won a series in Australia. Of course, Anderson also played a part, but Graham Swan was fantastic in that series, 2010-11.
इंडिया वर्सेस बांग्लादेश, शकील भाई हेलो, सबसे पहले सॉरी, हाय बोल रहे हैं,
ये
आईपीएल
अच्छा
रिटर्न।
सवाल पूछे आप भाई।
इंडिया वर्सेस टी20 में अभिषेक शर्मा का मौका
ये अच्छा,
मिलेगा क्या?
ये बेटर,
पॉसिबिलिटी,
ये थोड़ा
पॉसिबिलिटी है।
बायस सवाल
अभी
अभी भी है but अच्छा है।
रोहित शर्मा नहीं है बोल के, there is a possibility that there's an opening slot there for Abhishek Sharma, but again you'll have to see कि भाई टी20 के डोमेन में मेरे को जहां तक दिमाग जा रहा है, I can't really think of who your openers could be. It could be Ruturaj Gaikwad, who was in the last series against Sri Lanka. Do you remember?
There was
Uh,
Abhishek Sharma, there was Gaikwad, there
Gaikwad.
was Shubman Gill was there as well, I think.
Mm, mm,
Um, Surya Kumar, Hardik Pandya, Rinku Singh,
yeah.
ये लोग थे
So
उसमें।
आपको
शिवम,
maybe you might just get the same team from the Sri Lankan unit. I think maybe that's a big possibility as well.
Shubman Gill, you think he'll play or they'll rest him for the New Zealand series?
Shubman
He
Gill,
was vice
he's
captain, no?
yeah, he was vice captain. He's been announced. He's not been announced for the test, so there's a possibility he could rest for the test. But uh,
No, the test, second test बोल रहे हैं आप?
सेकंड टेस्ट के लिए काफी रूमर्स ये भी आ रहे हैं कि बुमराह को शायद नहीं खिलाएंगे. Like
But
बुमराह
it's the
might not
same
play
squad
match.
that they've announced again.
Squad is same. Yeah, squad is same. Maybe Kuldeep will come because it's going to be a home fixture for him. Maybe they'll give him the pass ahead because Kanpur में और a match. But for the team
Is that a
again,
criteria for selection?
I mean, अब कोई reason नहीं है तो दे सकते. Like I mean, though that they'll probably want to rest like a few as well. So I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
maybe
Harsha Bhogle said in on
Siraj will
Clippers.
rest. Siraj might also rest. I don't know. Like maybe they'll play Yash Dayal or Akashdeep instead of Bumrah and Siraj.
Yeah, interestingly, Harsha Bhogle Cricketers पे बोला था कि भाई, like I see Kuldeep Yadav playing a role in Australia, and that's why he wants to see him play in the next Test match. Leg spinner over there. It could be Len Sydney, Melbourne. I don't know like what's gonna happen in Perth and stuff. They might just go with one spinner, but he's saying that he sees a role that Kuldeep Yadav can play, and he's played a Test in Australia as well. तो देखना पड़ेगा क्या होगा।
I mean वो तो बहुत आगे, but like comparing अभी जो वर्कलोड मैनेजमेंट के बारे में बहुत चर्चा होते जा रही है एंड बुमराह को आप प्रोटेक्ट करके रखना चाह रहे हैं. आई थिंक अ लॉट ऑफ दैट इज वेयर दैट न्यूज़ इज कमिंग कि भाई बुमराह को आप रेस्ट करा देंगे, नहीं खिलाएंगे. मे बी यश दयाल को आप दे देंगे एक लेफ्ट आर्मर एंगल, बिकॉज कानपुर का विकेट तो फ्लैट रहेगा, सो आई डोंट नो स्पिन कितना उसमें रहेगा. But let's see. Why BCCI are ignoring Sunrisers players? BCCI is ignoring. BCCI nothing to do with SRS players. It's a different thing altogether. But yeah,
मतलब
I think
सिलेक्शन
it.
में अभिषेक शर्मा उन लोग को नहीं ले रहे, नितेश रेड्डी को बोल रहे, लिए थे T20
अच्छा
में
वैसा
तो
मैं आईपीएल के उससे मतलब ये कहा.
वो तो नहीं है भाई. लाइक अभिषेक शर्मा डिड गेट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी. आई एम श्योर नितेश रेड्डी विल आल्सो गेट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी. नॉट टू ऐसा कुछ वैसा तो नहीं दिखता मेरे को. इतना बायस वैसा तो नहीं है भाई.
वैसा तो नहीं होगा. एंड अगेन दिस गाइज आर ऑल न्यू. अभिषेक शर्मा, आपके नीतीश कुमार रेड्डी, ये पूरे लोग नए हैं अभी. सो यू विल जस्ट हैव टू वेट. आई मीन आई थिंक टी20 में यशस्वी जायसवाल भी हो सकते हैं. दैट्स एन अपॉर्चुनिटी आल्सो बिकॉज़ ही इज आल्सो देयर इन द टी20 टीम एज वेल. यू हैव शुभमन गिल. सो अगेन गंभीर के ऊपर रहेगा कि फर्स्ट सीरीज के बाद यू वांट टू कंटिन्यू विद इट. सूर्या का सही रहेगा, रोहित का सही नहीं रहेगा. सो दो प्लेयर तो निकल ही जाएंगे आपकी टेस्ट टीम से. विराट, रोहित, जडेजा, ये तीन, अश्विन निकलेंगे. सो उस हिसाब से अगर आप देखो जो पुरानी टीम थी अपनी, वी हैड ऋषभ पंत, यू हैड हार्दिक पांड्या. विल हार्दिक पांड्या प्ले? वी स्टिल डोंट नो. अक्षर पटेल रहेंगे, तो देखना पड़ेगा कि वहां से. एंड अर्शदीप को भी ले आएंगे शायद, बिकॉज़ अर्शदीप पिक्ड अप अ 6 विकेट हॉल इन द दुलीप ट्रॉफी एज वेल.
या अर्शदीप तो T20 स्पेशलिस्ट है, उसको खिलाएंगे. वहां पे उसको ही हैज टू इंप्रूव हिज लॉन्गर ओवर फॉर्मेट पुटिंग, बट T20 तो ही डन अ वेरी गुड जॉब. वो ओवर में अभी भी नहीं भूल सकता, साउथ अफ्रीका अगेंस्ट फाइनल में बेहतरीन ओवर था वो. टू बैक अप लाइक बुमराह was outstanding, but like if Arshdeep leaked 1 or 2 runs here and there, like a couple of boundaries, the game was done. तो उसका जो spell था वो भी जबरदस्त था. T20 में I have confidence in Arshdeep. It's just that longer format. I want to see Rinku Singh. I want to see more of him. Shivam Dube का भी देखना पड़ेगा because they backed him in the World Cup, and I'll be very, very honest with you. I did not want him in the squad of the World Cup, but he proved me wrong. I liked his contributions in the World Cup. I don't know about you. जब भी उसको मौका मिला एक छक्का मार के तो जाता था. He was doing his job. Like role उसका था कि भाई मारो. उन्हें मार रहा था, आउट हो जाता, मार रहा था, आउट हो जाता, but he was doing his job. And it was that template, right? Like where we don't want hundreds or 50s, we just want quick runs. And I felt he was doing his job. So let's see how much they back him, because thoda sa he's gone off the limelight. I know IPL is a huge influence, but I think that Shivam Dube should be back now that they've already backed him in the World Cup. And I want to see
the biggest question now that will come for T20 is again Sanju Samson. Will he play? Like they threw him in the T20 format when the ODIs are coming and the tests are coming. Now we have to see if he's going to be given a chance. because he did score a few runs, 86 एक ही मारे. I think that's the only innings that he's played. उसके बाद फिर out हो गए second innings में. So संजू का बनेगा. Riyan Parag will come in for sure. You'll see Riyan Parag. I think you'll see Arshdeep coming in. अब उसके अलावा again what Surya thinks, Rinku Singh will come in as well. But for a T20, yeah, you'll need to brainstorm a bit because Jaiswal again
If
आधे
there
बढ़
is
गए वो.
anyone, if there is anyone who can get Samson into the squad, it is Surya Kumar, because you remember how hard it was for Sky to get into the Indian team. So difficult. When he did not get selected for the Australia tour, when the COVID IPL was happening in
IPL,
Dubai,
yeah.
that game against RCB, Virat Kohli was captain. He hit the winning runs. It was a match-winning contribution, and he did this, right. The celebration. It wasn't directly towards Virat, but indirectly it was to Virat and everyone, like the selectors. Ki bhai main hu yahan pe, you should have selected me. So he knows how tough it is to break into the team. But he can look at it two ways. He can say कि भाई Samson deserves a place because उसका सबर है, he's been with them in West Indies, America, everywhere, he's traveled, and Sanju's on the bench. He can look at it that way, or he can say कि भाई Sanju, I was also in that position. I had to score double the runs that you have scored till now, so you need to score more runs to knock yourself into the team, whether that's in the IPL, whether that's in domestic, or runs banao. So now that's how. But if there is anybody who can get him with the team, it is Surya, because he should understand that situation.
He'll understand this, but I think the second thing was when Surya did come into the team, he made a bunch of runs, right, in that IPL and the T20 format. Like he broke down the door. जो बोलते हैं आप. अब संजू का क्या? We say he's young, he's 29 already. In 29, I know he's not gotten a fair chance in
Surya is
one
also the
particular
same age
format.
at that
Yeah,
time.
but like Surya is still only playing T20. He's not in like
तो
ODI.
T20 का ही बात कर रहा हूँ मैं. T20 का.
तो मैं संजू का वही बोल रहा हूँ कि संजू in any format that he's been given, he'll not had a consistent style of, let it be T20, let it be Test. Wherever he's thrown, you have to perform. Like Ruturaj, you could still say he's performing in whatever place he gets. At times, yes, he does fail as well. But if you put it on Sanju in a consistent row of runs, नहीं आए उनके. Like yes, South Africa में सेंचुरी मारे थे, फिर बैठ गए, फिर उनको अब ये दुलीप ट्रॉफी में मौका मिला. He couldn't do anything. So it is hard for him. I know the length of each format is also not right for him, but
बात
wherever
तो सही है, मगर मसला कहाँ था मालूम? कहाँ आर्ग्यूमेंट डिबेट क्यों होता? बिकॉज अय्यर का भी वही सिचुएशन है, राहुल का भी वही सिचुएशन है. प्रॉब्लम यहाँ है, लाइक व्हाट यू आर सेइंग इज एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. ही इज नॉट ब्रोकन डाउन द डोर. आई एग्री विद दैट. उन्हें आईपीएल कंसिस्टेंटली नहीं मार रहा 600-700 रन. लाइक आई कंप्लीटली एग्री विद दैट. बट द थिंग इज नीदर एज द अदर बैट्समैन. सो दैट इज वेयर द आर्ग्यूमेंट कम्स. दैट्स व्हाई दे से
कि एक आर्ग्यूमेंट ये आएगा कि तिलक वर्मा को लेके आएंगे वापस, बिकॉज तिलक वर्मा वाज इंजर्ड. ही वाज नॉट, he didn't do anything wrong. They'll I think try to bring back Tilak Verma now that he's back in like without any injury, hopefully. But yeah, so there are a lot of decision.
One more thing, that's for Sanju, he has a lot of competition as well, right? Like
and Pant is also there in the T20 thing.
Yeah,
and Ishan
Kishan will come. You've got Jurel is also, he can play T20s, and KL Rahul.
Jitesh Sharma was there at one time.
Was there, so they have competition to have. But I think, like you said, what he has to do is just when he gets opportunity to score runs. It's not easy. But वही argument इसलिए आता because these guys who don't perform, they get longer ropes. He doesn't get as long rope. But this is going to happen in cricket.
So now the only thing that I can say is if maybe Rishabh Pant will be rested because they want him to be fit for Test series. So maybe Rishabh Pant goes out of line. Maybe your two people will be Sanju and Ishan. That's a possibility. That's the only entry point that they have. And then they have one series in South Africa, I think, in November, which this team will go. Like, so this young team will only go. The big guys will go to the BGT. So I think Rishabh Pant को वो situation में maybe शायद T20 में नहीं involve करेंगे. ये लोगों को chance दे देंगे. Contract है, खिलाओ करो. So I think वो यही है. फिर कोई नया format आएगा, ODI का format आएगा, फिर उसको test में फेंक देंगे. तो वही चलने वाला है मेरे हिसाब से तो.
एंड उसको जब मिलेगा, जब फेंकेंगे उसको वो फॉर्मेट में, उसको मारना है सेंचुरीज. दैट्स व्हाट इट इज. अब अगर बांग्लादेश में मिल गया, ही हैज टू स्कोर रन्स. बल्क ऑफ इट, ही हैज टू गेट मैन ऑफ द सीरीज. दैट्स व्हाट ही हैज टू डू. देयर इज समथिंग देयर. अब देखो, राहुल द्रविड़ इज he's done very well for India as coach. Rohit Sharma has done very well for as captain. So there's something that they want from him that they're not getting. So or there's a reason why they're not selecting him. So he just needs to work on that reason and keep calm. But one thing is he's not really flustered. I think uska attitude acha hai, uska work ethics acha hai. We always see him in the nets, and he's striving, and hopefully his time will come. I know he's getting older, but I think his time will still come. He's too talented not to play consistently for India, I feel. So I think the time will come. He just needs to keep at it, and like you said, jab mauka milega, break down the door.
Thing is, like, वो चीज़ आपके कंट्रोल में है नहीं ना, like that you can't really do much about it. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go fight. You're not gonna go fight the selectors and stuff. So you just have to keep mum and just wait for your time. And yeah, the only unfortunate instance is that he'll not been able to make most of whatever time he's getting in whichever format, right? तो वो हिसाब से थोड़ा like India will be like, अरे यार इसको कहीं भी डाल लो तो इन्हें नहीं खेल रहा, it doesn't matter. Like they can diplomatically say it doesn't matter where he's playing, when you're playing for the nation you have to perform. So that's what it is. Cricket has become like that. भाई आईपीएल रिटेंशन में क्या अपडेट है अभी तो एज ऑफ नाउ देयर इज नो अपडेट्स इट्स जस्ट एवरी टीम इज लीकिंग आउट वेस्टलेस इंफॉर्मेशन कि भाई हमारा स्ट्रेटजी ये है हमारा स्ट्रेटजी वो है बट राइट नाउ देयर इज नथिंग इन द रिटेंशन थिंग दैट यू कैन हैव कॉन्क्रीट नहीं बोल सकते आपको भाई जैसे मैं कमेंट करता हूँ प्लीज रिप्लाई भाई अगेन अगर टॉपिक में डिस्कशन चल रहा है सो वी कांट अवॉइड द टॉपिक एंड यू नो वी विल टेक द कमेंट दैट फॉर श्योर सब्जेक्ट दैट इट इज अगेन रेलेवेंट टू द टॉपिक इफ सो देन इमीडिएटली ले लेंगे अगर नहीं है दूसरा टॉपिक ऑफ आईपीएल है देन वी विल प्रॉब्ली टेक इट इन अ डिफरेंट वे एसआरएच शुड रिटेन सुंदर ऑफ 4 इंडियन प्लेयर्स आर अलाउड यार सुंदर इज अ गुड प्लेयर मैं एग्री करता हूँ बट सुंदर का भी ये है कि भाई ही इज इंजरी प्रोन इंडेक्स फिंगर में उनको प्रॉब्लम है काफी टाइम से आप देख चुके हैं ही विल आल्सो रिटर्न फॉर द टी20 against Bangladesh you'll see Washington Sundar there as well he was very impressive against Sri Lanka he was finding his ways back but yes Washington Sundar also one all-rounder that you can see playing the T20 circuit along with Akshar Patel maybe they'll be two spinners of
T20 for sure. Sundar, I think he just needs to work on his bowling if he wants to get into the one-day test team. But like T20, he can play because he can give you 2 to 4 overs. He can, with the new ball, he
bat.
can also bowl in the power play, and batting is outstanding. But yeah, like if we saw in the IPL, he did get stick. I remember that RCB came, he got smashed by Will Jacks in that match. I even another game where we hit 250 to 60, he got smashed in that. So he just needs to work on his bowling a bit. But I think as a T20 utility player, he's very good and he's a good asset to have not only for Sunrisers but India के लिए अच्छा है उन्हें और उन्हें कहीं भी बैटिंग कर सकता है कहीं भी bowling भी कर सकता है. Just needs to improve his bowling and injury prone है उन्हें, so he has to work on his fitness and make sure he is fit जब बड़ा series आता है या जो भी है play longer periods of time, play cricket for a longer period, which will help him get selected more often for India.
Yeah, 100%. And see, I mean, अपन बोलते देखो, it's not that easy to be selected also for like playing. Again, India went from where the selectors have come to the selectors now in Agarkar and all of these guys. It's a very big difference in the thought process. I think that's what you have to respect. Also, they're now looking at different combinations, permutations. They're looking at conditions. They're looking at what the best 11 they can get out. Earlier we used to be on the opposite end. नरेश को खिलाना था इन्हें कंडीशन के लिए अब इंडिया में क्या है वो फेवरेटिज्म के हिसाब से फैंस roll left to right. We initially T20 वर्ल्ड कप की टीम को हम लोग बोले थे कि यार क्या दीवानी टीम है रिंकू को कैसे ले लेके जाके बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट वर्कड आउट एंड जैसा आप बोले शिवम दुबे का भी पिक it was not a bad pick because he did had a very good 26 27 one of the matches which was very important partnership. I think it was Hardik Pandya when he was on the pitch. I think it was Afghanistan or one of the teams. Yeah. So you I mean the selectors I think they've done a very good job after that part after Chetan Sharma जो भी मसले हुए थे उसके बाद से तो you don't see कि यार इसको you can't say कि इसको unnecessary इसको दे दिया उसको दे दिया. They have a process where like injury के बाद से लोग निकल जा रहे हैं and then they're trying to respect that as well. So I think it's come up with a good system where they're again looking at conditions, looking at the best combination in that particular thing. They don't care if they're bringing out someone new. Particularly like Shivam Dubey, he can play spin. They were looking for an all-rounder. Now in that pursuit, they found two to four more all-rounders. Like Riyan Parag is turning into one. Washington Sundar is one more. So like I mean their selection का जो process है उन्होंने अच्छा कर दिया मेरे हिसाब से at least.
Yeah, I mean it's not easy. Like there's always going to be a player that we want in the team, and ideally they do deserve chances. And हम लोग उस हिसाब से बोलते हैं, लेकिन it's always difficult because इतने options है आपके पास limited spots है, so it's not going to be easy. And I think that T20 World Cup also. The thing is that they won, which was very important. If that, if Bumrah didn't take them out of jail and they lost that, then again the topics would have come
exactly.
So I think, but selection-wise, even if you look at the 50-over World Cup, जहाँ पे हारे आप, I think the selection was fine. I don't think it was like anything. I was not upset with the selection. I think selection was completely fine. You just had a very poor day, and it was more your performance on the field which was lacking in the final rather than the selection or anything like that.
Exactly. Like you can't say कि team में कोई कमी थी and stuff like that. So I think KL Rahul, Surya Kumar, they tried their best, but नहीं हो रहा था against an Australian side which is no muck, right? Like they are also equally, you have to respect that. as well. So yeah, I mean, over the last two particular year or last year at least, the selection committee jo hua and the sync that you see the captain, coach, and selector having, that is the biggest change, right? Usually, कोई एक page पे था इसका player होना उसको push करो. We would have those kind of problems, but now in India you don't see those problems. That's what other boards can also look into and see.
And
कि
yeah,
भाई,
and look, Bumrah, Shami, these Siraj, these guys, they didn't bowl like that in that final. They just bowled good 3-4 overs, and then Travis had started smashing them. Whereas in South Africa, when they were getting smashed, they came back. These guys didn't have those spells in that final. Virat Kohli, he was okay, but again he struggled in that. Rohit Sharma, after a good start, he got out. So there were similar things in both finals, but it was just like the bowlers. Bumrah got you back into it in this World Cup against Pakistan, against South Africa. I think India ये जो World Cup जीती bowlers के ऊपर जीती थी, and फाइनल में भी अगर आप देखो, आप थे वहां पे अहमदाबाद में, he didn't have that magical spell like which you needed 230 240
yeah,
against defender.
yeah,
He didn't have that magical spell which he had in South Africa, because I felt the runs were short even in West Indies. I think we were under par. 170, we should have got like 190 plus in that final. It was a very good wicket to bat on. कोई turn one था नहीं. It wasn't like the England match जहाँ पे ball spin हो रहा था 160 was enough. ऐसा तो था नहीं. It was Bumrah miraculously bowling, Hardik bowling smartly, and also getting lucky, good fielding. Arshdeep also like bowling well. So it was more of that which bailed you out. Whereas is the performances, but the selection overall, like you wouldn't really change much. Maybe one or two players here and there, but that's always going to be the case for India.
Yeah, 100%. And again, अब इंडिया में ऐसा है कि यार इतने प्लेयर हैं, इतने हैं यार. Like now, if you look at, I think at some point now the people playing Duli Pots are like, yeah, we rather play other things like Ranji Wanji खेल के कुछ बना लेंगे. अगर call up आया तो आया, नहीं आया तो like we can't do much about it, because now you got people like Ruturaj sitting out, you got Abhimanyu Iswaran sitting out, you got like Nagar, कितने हैं Jagdish, ये लोग आके गए in the dressing room, and it's just a very hard thing to crack because of the players and the quality of the players that you have in, like, यशस्वी जायसवाल, शुभमन गिल, रिंकू सिंह, ये पूरे प्लेयरों को आप पार करना मुश्किल है. तो एवरी प्लेयर इन इंडिया राइट नाउ अगर रांची एंड उसमें पहुंचा, उसके बाद इट्स जस्ट अबाउट just shouting. Like Sarfaraz had a very long time before he got into this test team, right? Like he also had to, so he had to leave the T20 and then he had to focus on the Ranji. He broke the door down in Ranji. Then his brother, now the way he's breaking down the door. But again, you can't assure anything for Mushib. So it's a matter of being consistent and just being patient, I think, in Indian selection committee, and that's about it. Like
100%. I'm waiting for the squad to be announced. I'm excited for the T20 wala squad. It should be fun because then I'm sure we'll see youngsters, and it's now after that Sri Lanka tour. This is also be important, and there'll be relatively competitive. It's not important in the sense that abhi World Cup nahi hai T20 का कुछ तैयारी करने के लिए, but it's good to groom these players. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
What's
England
your
versus
T20 series squad?
please, Bangladesh T20 squad again, like majority.
For the India squad.
The India squad, yeah, I think it's gonna be majority. I feel it's gonna be the same from the Sri Lankan squad. You'll have like Sky captain, you'll have Rinku, you'll have Jaiswal, Shubman Gill. You will have maybe
Abhishek
Sanju. I think Sanju will be there. Abhishek Sharma will be there. Shivam Dubey will be there, I think, as well. I don't know Hardik's availability. I don't know where the guy is. He's trying to play red ball. So if he's trying to protect his body for red ball, then I don't think he'll be play. Jaiswal, yes, he might be rested as well. That's a fair point. That's where Abhishek Sharma can come in. Riyan Parag will play. You've got bowlers, mein Arshdeep. You've got maybe, I don't know if they should play Siraj. I think Siraj should be rested. You can play an Avesh Khan or someone from the Trophy who have performed. So Avesh Khan, Khalil Ahmed will play I think, as well.
Khalil is there, Avesh, Arshdeep.
Aksar will be the spinner along with maybe the other guy we mentioned,
Washington Sundar.
Yeah.
And Bishnoi, I think he should also get a chance in the T20s. Usko chance dena chahiye. I think Bishnoi will be effective in that series. Because abhi, I think
I don't also think Rishabh Pant will play T20. Like he's played a lot of T20, so I don't think he needs to.
Because they have a test series right after that, and then again there's another T20 series before the Australia. So South Africa.
So ये वाली team वहीं चले जाएंगी जो ये वाली team में
So they might just separate the two teams, I think, and you might see these youngsters play against Bangladesh and some of these big players rested or preparing for the New Zealand series, basically, because I don't think there's much turnover time between the T20 and the Test series. So you'll probably see the youngsters over there. कल वो भी है England और Australia का third one day. a lot of people in England a bit anxious because England are losing 2-0. Nobody likes to lose to Australia. England don't like to lose to Australia in particular. And Alex Carey is scoring that in England after that crazy Ashes, because वो जो बेस्टो का रन आउट हुआ उसके बाद Alex Carey's career went down, man. I think he suffered mentally because the amount of criticism stick he got for that run out. Like, no matter how much he'll say I'm right, but like it just got to him. But to see him perform like that, score runs in a match-winning game in England, albeit a one-day match, I think, yeah, kudos to him for coming back. I was happy for him. Like, normally, I'm not too happy for Australian players unless they play for Sunrisers, but I was very happy for him because he went through a lot, and mentally it was not easy for him the last 1 year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, criticism, to देखो, like, I want majority from the England players and from the English media and from the English fan, obviously. But I don't know what your take is, but जब बेयरस्टो निकला था, it didn't make sense. Like, he just walked out like he was going for a walk in the park, and like,
But that's
obviously
the
anyone.
thing. In Australia's opinion, in the a lot of people also who are not Australian, they say कि it's by the rules, it's out. But the thing is, the fact is not if it's right or wrong. The fact is the criticism. The इतना गुस्सा जो चढ़ा, that has affected him. Not actually
Yeah.
the actual
No, so
action.
so one of the thing one of the thing Broads told him, I think, while bowling, well, this is what you're going to be remembered for, and this is going to be your biggest legacy and stuff like that. Like, ये सबसे बड़ा moment तुम्हारा career का है बोल रहे हैं. Like, to get into his skin, right? Like, so obviously all of those things when they play in your head and you start questioning your अरे मैं क्या करा सही करा नहीं करा. And I think
Yeah,
like
no, but that goes in your head. Within the laws, what he did was correct. Like, there's
correct.
nothing
Yeah,
wrong.
and again, you have to be smart enough not to walk, bro. Like, you have to tell the keeper, and that's how it is.
Yeah. But
So
me personally, if I'm Pat Cummins, I call him back because his intention was not to take a single. That's just my opinion. If I'm captain, I call him back. Match अच्छा चल रहा है, चलने दो. It's not that. It's not about the match अच्छा चल रहा है, but his intention was not to take a run. Like, if you see, he was going to do gardening. ऐसा नहीं है कि उन्हें भाग रहा था कहीं. Like, he wasn't.
actually, he was going to the opposite end, if I remember correctly, to talk to the guy who was on the
Yeah, no,
non-strikers.
he
Like,
was just doing gardening. वहाँ पे जो like ऐसा pitch को ऐसा करते नहीं, like just with the bat or
yeah,
something. That's
back
what
to
he was
back.
doing. So, but within the laws of the game, he has to be more aware. He has to, like, so if you look at it from that way, that it is a correct dismissal. But like, as a captain, I have the authority to bring the batsman back. I can withdraw my appeal. So I would have just withdrawn the appeal because like, even with Mankade, like, also it's a very difficult argument because Mankad, I wouldn't call him back because he's trying to sneak a single. But that's just how I look at it, because उन्हें अगर single sneak करा तो he's taking an extra head. यहाँ पे intention तो था नहीं run करेगा, उन्हें खाली gardening करने गया था. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you actually go and see that replay, उन्हें भाग रहा तो था नहीं कहीं भी. Like, he wasn't going anywhere.
I mean, even like if you look at a Mankad, I think it's just like, yeah, you're getting an unfair start.
Yeah, you're getting an unfair start.
तो
That's
वो
why,
हिसाब से लोग रोक लेंगे, but again, equally criticize करते लोग, right? Like, but yeah, look, I think you should just look into the bylaws of the game. I don't see, like, अगर rule है and you're trying to get a win, at the end of the day, that's what matters. Like, yeah, there is respect and everything and stuff. You as a player should know what rules are there, and you should. Then if there's someone who's going to outsmart you, they're always going to outsmart you, and you'll always feel bad because you'll feel stupid. अरे मेरे को ये rule नहीं मालूम. Like, you didn't expect them because you didn't expect them, the opposition won't be prepared, right? Like, so I think it comes down to, like, you just have to be prepared for anything and be well versed with the rules or whatever it is. I know sometimes it just comes out as a shock and you feel bad about it, but if you're walking out and there is a rule that you should have known about, कि भाई बात करके निकल जाओ, so then just निकल. Yeah, you can be a good person, you can be that, but if it's like a, I mean, maybe that actually is so prestigious that they won't call him back, right? Like, that's how they take it like that. So
yeah, no, I was just looking at his intent. मैं like वो dismissal 20-30 वक्त देखा, and like he was not doing anything. It is just that he's stupid for not telling the umpire whatever. But he was not, like, if I got out like that, I would be pissed. Like, that's what I'm just
yeah,
saying. Like,
100%, and that's what it is. Just someone outsmarting you and something that
if I get
like, you
one,
didn't expect.
if I get one cut, I'm not gonna get pissed. I'm like, I won't be pissed at the bowler.
You'll be
I'll
angry
pissed
at
at,
yourself.
what am I doing? So stupid. Like, here, it was not the intention when nothing was there. Like, so इसलिए, but all being said, he was right at the end of the day. Carey, what he did was, by the laws of the game, he was correct. But the point was not that. It's just that, like, because there was two different arguments, the arguments from the other side just got to his head.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like you have to just have, and I think Australia, I mean, SIR, we move on like quick culture. I'm pretty sure Pat Cummins, Mitchell Stark, they said, "Screw it, man, we're behind you," and
But he
everybody
didn't
else.
move on. That's why I feel bad. वो World Cup में
Yeah,
he was lost in the World Cup. India में जब आया था, even in this one, he looked
इन्हें
lost.
था वर्ल्ड कप में तो दूसरा था ना उन्हें अपना कौन है
Josh
बंदा
English. That was T20, no?
जॉश इंग्लिश नो नो इवन इन दिस इंडिया he came to India Josh English
This guy Alex Carey was not there.
Alex Carey wasn't there it was Josh English who was the
Like,
wicket
that's
keeping
even
batsman.
worse.
Yeah,
That-
so no, but Kerry though, well, he was mostly playing test, right? Like at
no,
one
no.
point,
2019, he was your keeper in the
I
one
think he
day.
was injured, if I'm not wrong. Also, like he got injured in the middle, so I think
And
okay.
he also mentioned, if you see the test Amazon documentary, he said it took a toll on me. Like उसका
Yeah,
पूरा वो बताए, like in Australia he was going on walks and this and that. His I think his wife was saying कि like it really like affected him and everything, which I don't think it should have. But like सबका अलग अलग होता है, you can't do anything. But because he didn't do laws of the
देखो,
game.
अब क्या होता था अगर लेट्स से उन्हें जान देता मैं जैसा बंदा हूँ मैं खुला बोला अगर जाता था और बेस्ट को 100 मारता था मेरा फिर जाता था मतलब यार मौका तो निकाल सकते थे लाइक वो पूरा गेम ही का नक्शा बदल जाता लाइक that's what people do like for me I think yeah there's some decision like Saqib का जैसा था you can still obviously argue like but like for me it's like some decisions like it is your fault at the end of the day if you're Johnny Bairstow you should know like you as a batsman that is the rule in the laws and you should know that you can't just leave the crease. If someone does outsmart you, you are stupid. It's not him who's stupid. And it's like again, it's how you which favor you're on. It's just like which side of
Yeah.
the table you are on. Right? Like that's it. If like let's say in India something happened like अरे भाई को बुलाए भाई after 2 days if he's still on the crease like Travis Head का short ball याद है आपको in WTC final नहीं डाल रहे थे डाले नहीं उसको डाल दे के आउट हो गया अरे भाई 124 मार लिया डाले नहीं शॉर्ट बॉल सो इट्स लाइक वो जब तक इम्पैक्ट नहीं होगा जब तक कोई कुछ बोलता नहीं इम्पैक्ट होते कि फिर सब चढ़ने आ जाते तो आई थिंक इट्स लाइक you could say maybe Kerry did save Australia and took the turnout because maybe based on what he's done to Australia in the past, you wouldn't want to take that chance.
Yeah, and also like, but the thing is, it also gave England a very good chance to win that Test match with that
Yeah,
run out because it fired
yeah.
up Ben Stokes. उन्हें
Ben
पागल
Stokes.
हो गया उसके बाद. Maybe he doesn't run him out in the next over. Ben Stokes gets LBW or something. That could also, but he
Yeah,
was
calm, man.
pissed.
I mean, like a Yuvraj Singh thing, right? Broad ungli ka raha,
Yeah.
check.
So it could work both ways. Like that is like it just depends on which side of the thing you are. अब
Yeah.
सबका लगा अब कल like I was the way Raya was time wasting, such an idiot, like so stupid, like because at the end of the day it screwed him over. They got extra seconds and talk. Like I understand 10 men he's doing it and everything like that, but I'll just take the ball, pump it long, pump it long, pump it long. उन्हें
What I
ऐसा
didn't understand, why did
ये
he
करना वो कर रहा और उसके बाद
why-
extra second. Bro, they're lucky that they didn't add more minutes because if you remember, इन्हें भी लेट गया था.
It should have gone to actually. It should have gone to 99. It shouldn't have stopped at 97. They
Yeah.
actually ended the game
Because
quicker. If you
between
look at
90
the
and 92, Timber was lying down.
Timber was
right?
lying down. Yeah,
Yeah.
Timber or yeah. So one of the players. So I
We were
said
lucky
99.
that there was not more time, man.
FPL के दिमाग से मैं सोचा हालैंड एक और मार सकता अभी भी सो मेरा दिमाग में 2 मिनट में हो सकता गोल अभी भी ग्रिलिश
Yeah.
सेलिब्रेशन वो सब लेकिन नहीं हुआ वो लाइक आई थिंक maybe it just got a little too heated and the referee
Time
thought,
wasting used to work when it doesn't add on to the time. Now everything is added on, and like that's where he got screwed because that corner would not have happened if this new rule didn't have like ये जो Grealish का corner था, it wouldn't have happened if this your time wasting का और like injuries ये breaks जो होते. He would not have played that. He would have blown the whistle before that corner.
Yeah,
But
and
because
अगर आपको टाइम वेस्ट करना भी है एज अ गोलकीपर चलो ठीक है आप कर लिया ओके आई गेट इट बट whip it long take tell and why would you take out Saka in like game unless he's injured I don't know but like मेरे लिए Saka रहता था like what Rock used to do in the back just go to the corner line and waste time man like you don't that won't cost anything
yeah, in the game you can do that, but the thing is now
Yeah.
if you're like lying down this and that, it's added on. It doesn't like
Yeah, exactly.
you can't do that
Exactly.
anymore. Like a
Yeah,
goalkeeper, if he goes and just goes like that, it takes like he gets a free kick, right? And then it
Yeah.
takes 5 minutes to take the free kick. 5 minutes it gets.
that will yeah that will be Anna but like if the
अरे
goalkeeper
नहीं
touches
था
the
ऐसा
ball
पहले आप लेट
हाँ.
जाओ वो करो. It used to help. Now time wasting doesn't really help. Yes, within play you can go and shield over there, but bro, you're up against one of the best teams in the world. It's difficult to do that.
Yeah,
Like
I mean the whole like again like the goal again like जिस तरीके से concede कर रहे हैं like you saw it coming kind of it was looking like that kind of आ रहा
very
था
lucky.
Yeah, Rodri भी गिर गया couple of times so देखते हैं अभी आगे Arsenal का how impactful this 1 point will be going down the line but yeah it was stupid like they should have just finished it off.
Yeah, I think still it is a very great point though. Like if you look
Yeah,
at it,
with
and
two, 10 men twice in the league already surviving, like without losing yet. They've not lost yet. So yeah, it's a big achievement.
how Jaiswal became star.
वो हार्ड वर्क ब्रो लाइक उन्हें कहाँ कहाँ से की
वो
आया
उसको
फिर
छोड़ो
कोई
बॉम्बे
कोच
के वहाँ पे कहीं उन्हें कहीं एकेडमी में सोता था, राइट? या लाइक
Yeah,
कहीं
he
डॉन।
used to work a bit, get 300, 200 rupees, and उसको खाना मिलता था, net का practice कुछ करता, like he's come from very means and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good to see that he's got the mentality. You can see the hunger in his eye. Like this guy wants to learn. He's keen on becoming a star, and he's already one of the best youngsters that India has. और उसकी जर्नी इजी नहीं रही. रोहित शर्मा भी मेंशन करे थे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में, इफ आई
Yeah.
नॉट रॉन्ग, कहाँ की मेंशन करे थे कि भाई उन्हें जिस तरीके से आया, जिस तरीके से आई मीन हाल-हाल में एक बीच में कोई ये भी कंट्रोवर्सी लाई थी कि भाई जो उन्हें बोला थोड़ी-थोड़ी चीज़ें सच नहीं है, जो उसका कोच था, ही केम आउट ऑन कैमरा, बट आई डोंट नो हाउ how correct that information that guy mentioned was, or is he the actual coach? But yeah, he did मुश्किलों से तो ऊपर आया, and that's what it is like. Once you're hungry, you're hungry. Bhai Abhishek should also follow Jaiswal's footsteps. Why should he follow Jaiswal's footsteps? He already is established. He's already under Yuvraj Singh's mentorship. Like it's two different lifestyle
Also,
and
I
two.
think he wants him to play all three formats.
Yeah, but he'll eventually take over. You can't break into this Indian team like we mentioned. India की टीम बहुत मुश्किल है अभी इस तरीके से आपके सामने लोग हैं. You have to outperform everybody. You can't जहाँ मौका मिला आपको outperform करना है. You've got to bang in it. You've got to be the Omani Shoaib Akhtar, just send reels and videos, market yourself as well, right? Like you've got to make noise. You can't just come up into the Indian team. It's not that easy. भाई वैसा होता तो 1,000 प्लेयर है अभी, रांची हो, ये दुलीप ट्रॉफी, यहाँ वहाँ, या तो आप आईपीएल में परफॉर्म करो, या तो आप ऐसे कोई सब्सटैंशियल जगह पे परफॉर्म करो जहाँ लोग आपका नोटिस करेंगे, नहीं तो अननेसेसरी लाइक इट्स नॉट गोना मेक.
Yeah, and Aiden Markham's answered your calls. It looks like you have a direct line with him.
Yeah,
You want to score runs. He scored runs, massive victory for
yeah, very
South
patient innings, very good innings. I liked it.
69 of 67, like soaked in the pressure, and then he attacked, and yeah, like it wasn't many runs. Overall, Afghanistan won the series, so I mean, still stuff to think about for South Africa, but in the context, at least they didn't get clean swept, and look, match jeet gaye. Markram played well. Bowlers both अच्छा काम करे. They stifled Afghanistan, didn't let them go through. Ngidi, Peter, and Flak Lakayo all picking up a couple of wickets. So
You're the
yeah,
only guy I know that can say that name properly. Right?
no, that's not. I don't even know. I just my style of saying it. I don't know how to say it.
That was the right way. अब इसका नाम इतना मुश्किल है.
Black Lakeo. Some
Yeah,
people call him Pulkao, someone call him
yeah, I don't know what
Pelekeo.
it is. फलल कलाए हुए क्या किया है, I don't know. Yeah, but
Yeah.
for South Africa, yeah, they need to make some calls. I mean, yeah, like we already mentioned,
No,
उनके अब ज्यादा players
they're
नहीं
okay,
रहे,
man. उनको
ज्यादा
मेरा
players
ही
नहीं
नहीं
रहे,
है.
but captaincy कौन कर रहा है भाई अभी तक? Like वो सवाल समझ में नहीं आया. Like ट्रेम्बा बुमा कहाँ से अभी तक कर रहा? But yeah, चलो ठीक है. मार्करम के
Even
लिए
there, they're sorted. Like, for example, if Bavuma doesn't play, right, they have Makram short. Like, he's over there.
they have Van der Dusen. They have a lot of people. अच्छा,
Yeah, like
captaincy वाली बोल रहा है. Okay,
Captain Potro. Yeah, like they have captains also. And then Vander Dusen is to come, David Miller is to come,
रिचा हेंड्रिक्स
Klaas
भी
is
है
to
उनके
come.
पास.
You know, they can always try Brevis. I really want him to play. They can always try him. They've got this guy also, man, Ferreira.
Yeah, Donovan Ferreira.
T20 में अच्छा खेलता, he can also play 50 overs, so they have a lot of options. Riley Rousseau is an option if they want to look at him. So they have a lot of options. I don't think too much for them to stress about. They're doing well, South Africa. Just that A series, yes, Afghanistan were outstanding. They outplayed them. Inexperience against spin, lack of skill against spin that cost them. But yeah, like overall, I'm not too worried. Again, South Africa, I think they're also on the upwards. They're playing good cricket
Yeah.
overall.
I mean, yeah, the thing is to get AB de Villiers in that coaching staff immediately. Like, I don't know, maybe he could spark some kind of belief with these guys, and it'll be fun to see like ABD coaching and stuff. I know it's a little bit cliche, but the thing that he's done in cricket and the technique that he has, I think he can share a lot of insight. And he's played everywhere around the world. He knows the conditions, and I'm not saying the coach is to blame in any of these things. Like he's done a relatively amazing job with the ICC formats, like 2023 World Cup semi-final, this World Cup final. Like he's getting noise, but yeah, T20 and places where ABD can probably help a lot.
The only problem with that is that his skill level is on a different level, talent level is different level. So the expectations, he has to come down to a level. He can't expect them to play like, scoops, this, that, and everything. But he can definitely be a consultant. He can be a batting coach. He could, yeah, have a say over this. Jack Callis is another guy who can be in
Mm.
that, because overall
Yeah,
batting, bowling, fielding, he has knowledge of everything.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
probably the best slip fielder that I've seen, best all rounder that I've seen in life. So these are options, but I think they've done well. Graham Smith, director of cricket, is he still there? He was there
I
for a
think
while.
it's yeah, I
Yeah,
think
so like I think they've done pretty well. जिस तरीके से उन लोग का सफर हो रहा था cricket, they're also struggling like West Indies, Sri Lanka, financially, economy wise, they don't have much money.
yeah,
They have that problem with the quota system as well. So a lot of issues, but still to manage to make semi-finals, finals. When people are saying, "Bhai, after AB and Stain, they're done." They're not done, man. They've actually stayed
yeah.
on that.
Rabada, man, like yeah, Rabada, yeah,
Yeah, Rabada, I always hyped him up. Like at one stage, you didn't understand why I'm hyping this guy, but he's crazy. And
mm.
even Nokia is crazy. They'll have bad days because T20 cricket, you will always get hit. Recently, Bumla's not getting hit. Otherwise, every bowler does get hit. But
Yeah,
I think overall, South Africa have done a fantastic job with their team. And
mm.
yeah, hopefully for them, one trophy is coming close, like whether it's a Champions Trophy or the next T20. बट ओवरऑल
Yeah.
अगर आप मुझे क्रिकेट देखो, क्रिकेट अच्छी खेल रहे हैं उन लोग. ऐसा नहीं है कि अरे डिविलियर्स के बाद कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. अच्छी क्रिकेट खेल रहे हैं. There's some
Yeah,
really good
yeah.
players.
I mean, that's what the one thing that I think South Africa have done the best job in at least maintaining their name in the world of cricket.
Yeah,
Like West Indies just
100%.
went south after that
Yeah.
Salman, Ganga era, Gale era, Hooper era. वो उसके बाद तो बिखर गए West Indies. But I think like if you look at West South Africa, they've got named Hashim Amla and इन लोगों के बाद सोचे कि life will be hard, but I think credit to Markram, credit to Klassen, credit to Miller. I think Miller is a fantastic servant for South Africa. He's been there for a long time. So yeah, it's good to see that at least even despite having lesser resources, they're still challenging much better than the previous years of South African cricket. Like the World Cup, they were incredible. Like
Yeah,
Australia को
great.
हल्लक में ला लेते हैं कोलकाता में. उसके बाद आप ये वाला India, every Indian like some went to go and play cricket, bro. Like they just left the TV and went after that during the final. Like some.
I
So
was
I think
thinking, who did that? And then, I
there's
think
only
once,
one person actually in the world who must have done that, but I'm just saying like it's just you South
yeah, it
Africa
was
is good
fun.
that they
It
maintain their
was.
name. Yeah, they maintain their name very well in the world of cricket, and that's good. All good to
Marco
see.
Janssen coming up. Tristan Stubbs, I think, is an
Yeah,
outstanding player.
but they
Stubbs,
got Otiniel Bartman from the
yeah.
T20. They
I'm
got
just
a
waiting
few
for Brevis to break out, man.
Stubbs.
Because,
I think Stubbs is one of the most like Stubbs the way he played Kuldeep Yadav in that final.
yeah,
Like he
he
got
was
shocked, and there was a funny story behind that because Kuldeep was not bowling to him in the
was not
nets in
bowling him
BC.
to him in the nets.
He
Yeah.
mentioned that like Stubbs mentioned that, and Stubbs fair play. Like, but I think he went 1-2 ladder ahead, 1-2 ahead, and he then just got caught like bowled ho gaya tha हमें. वरना he could have finished it. Stubbs. I think and Stubbs was one of the guys like who could have finished that game till the
Yeah,
end.
and the SA T20 and everything, that's also helped them 100% key. Like, you
Yeah,
see the
revenue wise,
coming
yeah.
in, getting in revenue, gate revenue, but also broadcasting because there's good teams, good players. And overall, I think they've done a pretty good job. Also, yes, they're focusing on T20 one days,
Mm,
T20s in particular, but Test maybe they caused problems for India, man. Like India couldn't win a series there in the
yeah,
last like 3 4 years. India should be winning. The
yeah,
last two
hundred
series they
percent.
should have won, man. They won the first game when then Rahul was captain, then Kohli came back. You lost that series, and both times you had the toss advantage. You were defending, but Elgar and Bavuma stepped up. Peterson came in. He scored some
Yeah,
crazy
only the
runs.
word mara. Yeah,
And then this guy, then this last one, Dizorzi jo mara tha pehle
Solzy
match.
mara.
वो yeah, so like South Africa, like it's like in everywhere they are competing, which is good because उनका हालत है नहीं compete करने के लिए, like financially and stuff. They're not on the levels of the big three, but I think they've done a very
बिल्कुल.
very good.
Yeah, and the players also they're getting Andre Berger, another good prospect for them in the
Yeah, it's good,
future as
man.
well. Right? Like he's good bowler, a good talent. Even in the Rajasthan Royals, he's adjusted well. So yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's what it is with Africa. But yeah, England Australia tomorrow. That's going to be the third ODI. Try England to get one victory at home. Like Australia have been very good, but I think England last game thoda bahut they just collapsed pathetically, and they need to work on their game. I think a bit more. I know it's a little bit of a transition phase. You can say they're trying to find new combinations, but yeah, it's still like England can fight back against an Australian side also that is trying to change its way just to protect players for like the WTC. So this, but the yeah, more or less it's been a good series till now. These two. ODIs, right? Till now, whatever we've seen.
Yeah, there's been a good series, competitive, acha hai, and hopefully even the T20 series was good. I was just upset. You're talking about the England one or the South
England,
Africa? Yeah.
England,
So like,
Australia.
yeah, so like the T20 was good as well. Abhi one days dekhna padega. If England can make a comeback, it'll be even better. If it's 2-2, then going into that fifth one day will be more interesting. Also, Fez, the Australian women, New Zealand women are playing a series. Australia is winning that, I think, 2-0.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, like they yesterday they collapsed a bit 142 all out, but their bowlers are outstanding on Australia ke. If you see this Ashley Gardner, who she got injured before the first game, concussion hua tha, wo warm up mein ab warm up ko ban kar diya. So now but she played this game and she picked up 3 wickets, gave only 16 runs. She was really good. And what's her name, Elisa Healy gave a start, but apart from that, the batting kind of collapsed, but their bowling was very strong. So again, going to Dubai, it's going to be foreign conditions, but I think ये match last और एक T20 उसके बाद उन लोग जाएंगे दुबई को and they'll acclimatize and they'll have roles over there. Look, they don't have Meg Lanning, which is a huge loss, but Elisa Healy's done a good job, and then they still have class players, man. Elisa Piri, Beth Mooney, Talia Magra, I think is outstanding all rounder. Ashley Gardner is crazy. Megan Shutt is there, a very good bowler. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think they'll be prepared for that T20 World Cup.
Yeah, I mean Australia mentality, man. That's the biggest thing that they have, right? Like over the years, you see any Australian team in any sport, they're always willing to win. Let it be football, let it be cricket, let it be women's cricket. And women's cricket, method they've been dominant. But Dubai again, in this condition that we know it's drier and stuff, so subcontinent countries, specifically India, this is one of their good chances to win, and they have good players to spin. You've got Sneha Rana that's come, like they've got very good bowlers in India now. In particularly the spin department has come up stronger in the last year or so. And when you look at Sri Lanka also, like the Atapattu, we've seen what she did, man, against in the Asia Cup. कैसा मारे इंडिया को like final में, though India dominated the whole series in the final at Chamara.
Yeah, and that's where India have to be careful because, like, the condition will suit them, but like, even in those conditions, they lost to Sri Lanka. Australia have very good spinners. They have Ashley Gardner. They have the other young girl. I forgot her name. She looks a bit Indian. I forgot her name, but Lana, what's her name? Yeah, but she's also a very good spinner. जो टोपी डाल के bowling करती देखो, sunglasses पहनती.
श्रीलंका में बोले?
No, Australia में.
Australia में.
You'll see her, but like then Ashley Gardner is a very good spinner. England have Eccleston. They have so like other teams. Also, India have to be careful in that, and they need to up their game because talent hai Arola, and they've come so close. In the last T20, we watched it together. 5 runs se haare wo run Harmanpreet ka, like these things need to stop. Like they need to find a way to think. But overall, I want them to make it to the semi-finals, finals, and then I think they have a chance. But वहां तक पहुंचना is still hard because it's a tough group that they have. They have New Zealand in the group. They have Australia in their group. It won't be easy. I'm just hoping that they get to the semi-finals. Then from there they can kick on. But yes, looking at the conditions, looking at the personnel India have, you mentioned, Shifali, Harmanpreet,
Dipti, yeah.
Then the अपने fast bowler जो है opening new ball.
I understood I can understand the face. I just can't get to the name. Yeah. Ponytail. Pooja Vatsakar hai.
She doesn't have a ponytail, so that's why I mentioned. There's no pass, one with ponytail, one without. And then Deepti Sharma जैसा आप बोले तो उनके पास options है. स्नेह राणा अभी one days खाली खेल रही, but उसको भी T20 खिला सकते हैं मेरे हिसाब से. तो they have options, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that World Cup because man, we need India. Renuka Singh. Yeah. So like India, with the WPL launching everything, launching the their improvement in cricket in the last 2-3 years. Now I think it's a time for a title, and especially Australia. You wouldn't call it transition, but I'll still call it that because Meg Lanning has gone, because I think her influence on the game was crazy, but they still have majority of those players still. They have a lot of match winners in that team. But even England throws up and down, you can catch them on a bad day. So I think this is the time India need to step
even someone that'll be more challenge like South Africa also. Look at, they have a lot of firepower in batting. They got Shubman Ismail, Wolvart. They've got good batsmen.
What's her name? All-rounder. She's amazing, man.
Again I forgot. Madison Captain. Madison Cap. Madison Cap. She's very good. I would watch it. So they've got good firepower. Pakistan, thoda dekhna padega. They just recently changed their to captain as well. I mean, they did hit one of the highest T20 scores against South Africa. I think 180, if
Was
I'm
it
not
South
wrong.
Africa or Ireland?
I think it was one of the two. Maybe Green may confuse again. I'm not sure, but
Maybe same,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah. So like there is when they've got good spin option as well. Nidadar is there and stuff like that, so they can still manage to do damage. But yeah, I mean, right now favorite going in if you want to pick like it would be India, England, Australia, and like I'll probably throw in a Sri Lanka there. I know South Africa is good, but Sri Lanka, what they've done in the Asia Cup, have impressed me.
I would pick New Zealand as well. There, Amelia Kerr. I think again yesterday she bowled really well, picked up 4 wickets. Susie Bates is still there. I don't know how, but she's
Oh,
still there. They've got a lot of firepower as well, and they were close. They've been in and around that semi-finals thing, so they could also have a shout. But overall, yes, I think you can't. Australia, England, these two तो पक्के मेरे को दिख रहे फिर इंडिया साउथ अफ्रीका न्यूजीलैंड श्रीलंका में से कोई आ सकता
yeah,
Sri Lanka
I mean,
again is very heavily dependent on Atapattu man.
yeah, they are definitely for sure. I mean, they'll need
And
to find.
but conditions will suit them too. So let's see. And they have their confidence of winning the Asia Cup. So confidence
That's
तो है
that.
बस.
Confidence तो है यार, but वही है क्या like comparing it to a big three जो बोलते हैं इसमें भी big three है India, England, Australia. So India though definitely there'll be a lot of expectation from them. They obviously they will always be there, but this time more around because like what
And
the conditions
Harmanpreet
are.
man, like she needs to get a trophy. Like she's been back for a long time as captain. Time हो गया 2018 में उन्हें ली कप्तानी 6 साल हो गए अब.
Yeah,
So I
Asia
think
Cup
this
भी जीते
is
अभी
one
तक.
of the last tournaments. Like like she was very close in the Commonwealth final. She was very close in the semi-final last time round. She's the one who put Indian women cricket on the map with that innings in 2017 in the semi-final against Australia. उन्हें जो इनिंग खेली थी, oh my god man, 100 plus, it was like insane man. विराट कोहली esque chase था वो, 270 280 chase कर रहे थे against a very strong Australian team who were captained by Maglani. So, at that time, I think Mithali was the captain, but she put India on the map there. But after that, she made them strong, consistent hai ye wo. But like I think there will be pressure on her, especially agar knockouts nahi pahunche India, then there will be questions on her future for
Her
sure.
and I think even a lot of questions with Smriti Mandhana, like the amount of expectation that she's built with the people over the
She'll
time.
be the
Even
next captain.
yeah, she'll be she'll
But
like
yes, she needs
WPL.
runs. She needs they'll want her to score runs, of course. Like you don't want her to have a bad.
Yeah, I think but yeah, Shefali Verma is one who comes down with the Sharma. So these two
For
usually
me,
remain. Then
the wild card India have is Richa Ghosh. She's the wild card man
Risha
because
Ghosh, yeah,
उन्हें
Risha Ghosh.
aggressive खेलती finisher भी है,
Hmm.
and she has the six hitting ability not many people have. I mean, Shefali Verma is amazing. She can hit boundaries as well. But Richa Ghosh जो जब power play खत्म हो जाता clear करना
Exactly,
boundaries, she has that
exactly.
ability. So I
Yeah.
think
Then
that
वो
is
end में जो cameos भी उसके रहते हैं, it's very substantial, 30, 35, 40, 40. So yeah, I mean, I agree with that. Richa Ghosh is going to be crucial, but even their spinners as well, right? Like you'll have to see who they go with. Sneha Yadav and कितने की नए स्पिनर लाए इंडिया के कैंप में, so we'll have to look at that. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps things up. We got Sri Lanka beating New Zealand today. We've got Australia, England tomorrow. We've got India, Bangladesh in a couple of days. Maybe you might find T20 squads that we'll keep up whenever it comes. We'll be obviously
keep
coming
you
back with them.
updated with that.
IPL news, nothing concrete yet. चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी में जस्ट इंस्पेक्शन खत्म हो गई आईसीसी के ऑफिशियल्स के थ्रू जनवरी इज द डेडलाइन फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ जनवरी और लास्ट वीक ऑफ डिसंबर इज द डेडलाइन दैट्स बीन गिवन फॉर द प्रिपरेशन ऑफ द स्टेडियम and yeah, that's about it. Like they're happy with whatever security measures are there in Pakistan, but yet there's still going to be another summit meeting in Islamabad, I think 15th October if I'm not wrong, or one of these dates that there's going to be a meeting in Islamabad, ICC meeting. There's a possibility like this is political thing, so maybe like the India Pakistan will have a talk on what will happen, RNA, RA stuff like that. Maybe that's what it is. Not a sports related summit, but it's going to be a political summit. So maybe you might find politicians talking to each other. So that's also one
Why do
thing
you
that
think there's so much delay?
I mean, definitely there's first तो अभी situation वहाँ पे stadiums नहीं बने तो there's not going to be any conversation till that there. But between India and Pakistan, delay obviously this is what adds masala, right? This is what adds spice. This is what's going to, and then again you have to see, prepare, and like maybe they strategize something. I know it's only sport and that's how we look at it, but not everybody look at it like that. Like they'll have to take 25, 30 things more into consideration comparing it to me and you. So that's why it always will be delayed.
But they need to care about me and you also. Otherwise, how will we arrange our travels? And not just
But
us. I'm just
yeah,
talking
I
about
mean,
everybody.
even when it was in the country, they didn't care that much. Even look at the preparations
That
in
is
India
that
also
is not
doing. So
that's not right, because the thing is also like the quality of the tournament will get compromised, because then you don't have अगर आप last minute Dubai shift कर दिए, last minute Sri
hmm.
Lanka shift कर दिए, then the quality of the tournament compromises too. Then you don't get
But
those pitches, you
एक
don't
चीज
get
है ना भाई, पूरी ब्रॉडकास्टिंग, पूरी स्पॉन्सरशिप दुनिया की अपने कंट्रोल में है, लाइक अपने पास है. So that won't impact them much. Like that's how I look at it.
it won't
And
impact them, but it compromises on the quality. Like
not,
it,
yeah,
like the product is
but
not that. Like the Asia Cup in Sri Lanka, it wasn't that great, man. I mean, I was enjoying it because I was right there and everything. But what was
hmm,
good about that tournament? Like
बारिश हो रही थी, इधर से उधर भाग रहे, इधर से उधर वो हो
कोई
रही. So
planning नहीं थी, product compromise हो गई.
again,
I'll tell you something. I spoke to a direct source over there from the broadcaster, and they said it impacted them because बारिश हो रही है
yeah,
और मैच नहीं हो रहा.
yeah, yeah.
Huge
इम्पैक्ट
loss,
तो
huge.
होगा, एंड आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं आपको डिसीजन बनते हुए दिख जाएगा नवंबर के टाइम पे. अभी दे विल नॉट से एनीथिंग बिकॉज़ देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स ऑन द प्लेट. देयर इज आईपीएल, देयर इज PGT, there's a lot, and then JS has to do the transition, right? So that's also there. So everything will be taken into consideration. From the team perspective, अगर आपसे पूछे does the team care if they go or not, they don't care. They'll also go if they have asked to be gone. They'll not go if they're told not to
Yeah,
go. And that's how.
I heard that they don't really want to go to Pakistan.
I think Rohit Sharma को जब पूछे थे back in the, like a couple of months ago, he said like we'll do whatever like we're told, like हमको कोई problem है नहीं. Like similarly, like I don't think that anyone in the current team have that notion that they might not go, because उनको फर्क है, उनको क्रिकेट खेलना है जाके, like that's what Rohit Sharma said, हमें तो जाके खेलना है, like whatever it is, wherever it is, we'll go and play. But obviously this is above everybody's
But it
level,
won't
so
be
they
the
can't
उन्हें
say.
बोल रहा वैसा, but it won't be the same. Just going to Pakistan won't be the same. It's gonna be
Not,
huge.
no, it won't be the same. It'll be huge, but for them as players, like they'll just say like हमारा
I'm
काम तो
just
खाली
saying that.
खेलने का.
Even for him, it's not going to be the same. Like
No,
going
but
to
for,
the
no, I'm talking about in terms of decision making. I'm not talking about in terms of the event and the occasion.
no,
I'm
but
just
that
saying,
decision will like the thing is look
like
at
he
it from
won't have much
also.
say. They say जाना है तो जाओ, नहीं जाना है
No,
तो like नहीं
they
जाना है.
won't have say, but
हाँ,
will they be comfortable, not comfortable? That only they can tell. Like we
yeah.
won't know that. Like we don't know, because the thing is, इतना वो रहेगा, इतना वो then like the security will be tight, this that and everything. Of course, it's going to impact any
But they're
player.
already used to that even in their own country. Like उतना
No,
scrutiny
no,
रहता है,
this is
like उतना
different.
ही रहता है भाई. हाँ. अब
This
देखो,
is
अगर आप वो हिसाब से like it's different, but again like I'm
because
just
the
saying
thing is,
they're
you see,
used to it.
even like
उतना
like
tension का
for
used to है हम लोग.
and like the thing is, the situation is like they've blown it up so much in the media and everything. It's going to be the biggest talking point. So like वही देखना पड़ेगा कि I don't think it's a problem once you're there. Once you're playing, it should not be
Yeah.
an issue. Like
नहीं,
it'll
अब
be
पाकिस्तान eventually
but
आ रही थी यहाँ पे, like we were at the airport
yeah,
and
and
stuff.
Pakistan, but if you see, we saw them closely. They were not that comfortable, bro. Pakistan. I did not see them as
Because
they were saying a lot of stuff in the media,
yeah,
ki biryani pasand ye wo, but you saw they were not fully comfortable. Like when you see them in Dubai chilling, Sri Lanka, it's different. Like when they're coming to
yeah.
India,
So I mean
it's
that
also,
is that if you look like that's also for Indian players in India when there's a tournament, right? Like we saw they were, everyone got like Pakistan wanted to get out of the hotel at one point, but they couldn't do
yeah.
anything. They just had to stay. So that comes with the destination. Like you can't do much with that. Like you can't control that. What you can control from, even as a captain, he can't control whether going or not. So his answer will be हाँ भाई हम लोग जहाँ डाले हम डाल देंगे, नहीं डालना है नहीं जाओ बोले तो जाएंगे, नहीं जाओ बोले तो नहीं जाएंगे. But life of the cricketer in general वही है कि hotel room में ही रहते हैं mostly. So I don't really like. It's going to be hype. It's going to be crazy if they go and stuff. It'll be fun for their country, for the fans that have never seen Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma. It'll be a great occasion. But at the end of it, it's not in any of the cricketing committees के हाथ में नहीं. It's above them. So that's the only thing. Like no one can take that call except the
Yeah, they
prime
might
minister.
give an opinion, but like it's not the control. They don't have.
Exactly.
उन लोग बोल
Exactly.
सकते हैं कि भाई हम लोग comfortable है नहीं comfortable है, they can say that, but
Hmm.
the decision is not with them. But like going there, of course, it'll be it'll be
100%.
it'll be
100%.
massive. Yeah, if they go. But
It'll
if
be
they
a good
don't,
boost for everybody. Like it'll be
but
good
if
if they
they
finally.
don't go, at least we should have a second.
Yeah.
We have backup plan. That's the thing,
And
man.
that thing they, I don't know how much they'll care about. Like they'll look at Dubai, they say वहाँ इंडियन से आ जाते भर जाता, इंडिया में रख देंगे, इंडिया में तो भर ही जाएगा. So I don't know, like maybe they're banking on that thing, or it's like maybe they'll give you a decision after the summit or something. You don't know. Like we can't say news आजकल कब निकल जा रहा. तो मैं सोते सोते आ जा रहे news, तो अपने को मालूम नहीं हो रहा.
Yeah, because the last two World Cups also, because of the last minute this and that, it wasn't that
Last
organized.
organized one was England one, right? That was the most organized
Yeah,
one because
what
एक
was
साल
that?
पहले आपके
And
fixtures
also,
आ
you
गए
are
थे.
lucky that there's a huge immigrant population there. Huge. The amount of NRIs in England is unparalleled. So you're lucky that's also there, and it was very well organized. You got tickets early, like 2 years ago. Even people from Canada, America,
And
Saudi,
you
India.
can tell us better because you were there in Asia. Asia Cup ही था ना दुबई में तो उसमें भी इधर कितनी लोग आते जाते. So like it's easy for them to sell tickets in UAE as well.
Yeah, आ जाते, like especially Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, ये तो आ जाते.
Yeah.
But
नेपाल तक अगर नेपाल भी है तो नेपाल भी आ जा सकते हैं अब तो उतने
yeah,
नेपाल यहाँ भी.
but again, like you have to prepare it so that it's affordable and like you
Yeah.
give enough time and everything. And Dubai is also a travel destination, so people can travel for that as well from India, from
Exactly.
Pakistan.
Exactly. So that's what we think it's going to be. Uh, UAE is what I feel it might be because अभी तो
Me too.
कोई दिख रहा तो नहीं कि भाई होने वाला है कुछ change, but you never know like what decision comes up. You have to always have that 20 to 10% possibility है. So we're just going to wait till what comes, and information is king. So we just wait for the information to come.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that pretty much wraps things up. Like we talked about Sri Lanka, New Zealand, we talked about England, Australia, South Africa, Afghanistan wrap up ho gaya. Now the next bit of cricket that's coming our way is India versus Bangladesh second test in Kanpur. Then Australia, England tomorrow. I think there's going to be New Zealand, Sri Lanka's next test as well. That starts when? That
England,
starts
Sri
on
Lanka.
New Zealand, Sri Lanka is on the 26th. So yeah, there's just a couple of days of break and then they're back on the pitch. So yeah, we'll get you all the latest from there. IPL का भी कोई concrete information अगर आया तो ही बातचीत कर सकते हैं वरना it's
Yeah.
just all speculation still now. Like everybody just trying to come up with various content जो point नहीं है भाई बात dead end मिलता है आपको अगर कोई concreteness नहीं है इसमें तो you can
By
just
the way,
speculate.
first you can do like I'll give you a couple of video topics that we can do. Like one is about Ashwin, of course, and his all-round performances in the recent years and how he started his career to now. But also Shakib, man, that strap that he was wearing. I forgot to
Yeah,
ask you.
that was for his eye problem. He has an eye problem, right? So उसको MR लगी थी तो उन्हें he like this was what I
Apparently,
heard in
it's
the
to his head positioning.
yeah. So he has some also eyesight problem. जिससे उसको so it's I think it's Harsha Bogle or Dinesh Karthik that said he's eating the strap to like psychologically उसको लग रहा है कि side में वो helmet चला तो path clear हो जाए. I don't know what that exactly meant. So he's trying to keep the helmet at an angle so that it doesn't come in like his like vision or something like that. So I think उसका थोड़ा
So,
vision
like,
hinder हो
so
रहा है.
you're saying the head positioning was triggered by some eye issue.
Yeah, something there's an issue that he has what Harsha Bogle and Karthik were mentioning on
He's biting the
the
strap.
yeah, he's biting the strap, so I think in his head he just feels कि थोड़ा हिल गया ऐसा करे या तो कुछ. But yeah, again, there is some kind of a problem with him. But I don't know, he's just
I
biting.
found out the name of the problem.
What's it called?
Central Serious Chorioretinopathy. It's some optics issue.
Yeah, so he has an eye issue, what they mentioned, and that's what it is. Like, he's just trying to make the thing like a little bit side, the head melt, a little bit side.
It's his own idea. He's eating the strap.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, I mean, you need to also wear a helmet as well, so maybe that's also. But yeah, that's what it is. Central
It's
media क्या क्यों जो भी बोले.
Central Serous Chorioretinopathy.
It's a big name.
It is basically, like you said, a condition which fluid builds up under the retina, which can distort vision. Basically, you have
Yeah, आँख में पानी ज़्यादा पड़ जाता है, I guess. But
yes.
yeah, I think yeah we can come back for those things and come back for the series that is coming soon.
Australia tomorrow.
Australia, England tomorrow, 26 to New Zealand and Sri Lanka. Second test, that's going to be fun having New Zealand had to fight back. Then you've got second test in Kanpur. We can see the changes. We can discuss what changes we can expect. Then we move to India, New Zealand, and then we move to the big guns. Like time is flying, so definitely we stay tuned and make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, notification घंटी in case whenever we're coming live आपको notification आ जाएगा. Thank you Shakil bhai for joining us throughout the stream. Apologies अगर आपको लग रहा है कि comments नहीं पढ़े, but आपका हर comment पढ़े हैं and yeah, you're still adamant on the SRH and India Union reunion. So we're going to leave it at that. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. Make sure we come back very, very soon with the latest from cricket. And till then, take care and have a nice day. Bye bye.